If you're a federal government employee and you're thinking about retirement, there is more to retirement than you just hitting your minimum retirement age. So if you're worried about retirement, or as a matter of fact, you're thinking about retirement, there are key decisions that you need to think about before you retire. That way, you can make a profound difference in your retirement and enjoy the moments in life that matters to you. So let's dive into this video, and then we'll be able to show you what those key decisions are. So the other thing that we're going to be talking about is that, this is one of my favorite over here, common retirement mistakes federal employees make, right? Oh my goodness. There are so many of them, but I wanted to bring this down to only a few of those, right? Okay. Number one would be eligible to retire versus ready to retire. The guys, given the two, what you should be choosing is like ready to retire. What does that mean? What's the difference? Eligible to retire, you can meet your minimum retirement age and the service requirement. But can you retire? Are you ready to retire? Probably not, because you have not done the planning. You have not done the right savings, right? Maybe you look at your TSP is not allocated properly, or you have not actually grown your TSP. If you look at your outside assets, maybe you probably don't have that much outside assets out there. Or you look at your debt, maybe you have like too much debt. You look at planning for long-term care or health issues, maybe you don't have all of that. Now, if that's the case, are you ready to retire? Probably not. Maybe before you basically retire, you need to sit down, put a plan in place. You have to extend your retirement to 1 year or maybe 2 years so that you can put a plan in place and then be able to enjoy that profound retirement, because you do deserve that. The other thing is retire from versus retire to, right? This is one of my favorite. Most people, when they usually retire, they tend to retire from. Maybe they're tired of doing their job now. Maybe this is not the best time in their work environment. Maybe so many things changes. We all know that. I work with federal government employees. I know what happened, right? Because of that, you might want to retire from that. But we have to think about what the proper thing is. You have to retire to something. Because you see, when you retire from something, but you don't retire towards something, that could be very, very problematic, because you find yourself in retirement, you're not going to enjoy, you don't even have a place to go, you have no plan. And you know what? It's not good for your health. It's not even good for you financially, because that's when we see people deteriorate. We want people to be vibrant in your retirement. It's the best days in your life, right? It's probably the only time that you can basically, you have control. You're the master of your own plan, right? Your calendar. So you want to make sure that you're able to enjoy that. Do the things that are important to you and your family. Maybe spend time with your family, your grandkids, travel around the world, far and wide. That's what retirement too means, right? You can enjoy those moments in life that matters to you, right? So please retire to something, not from something, okay? The other thing is like overstaying their time working, right? And this is one of my favorite, right? So one of our clients, Ellen, let's call it Ellen out there, right? Ellen basically, when she was growing up, she has seen her parents like really struggling. And because of that, she decided that, you know what, she's not going to live like that. She's going to work and then save money so that she can enjoy retirement. And you know what? She has done that. She has tremendous amount of assets out there. But you know what? She came to our retirement workshop. And when we met with her concern is she doesn't know whether she can retire. All these years, she's retired. She's actually working because she doesn't know whether she can retire. After we met with her, we found out that we looked at her plan, did a plan for her. You know what the good news is? She can absolutely retire. And because of that plan, now she has retired. She's traveling around the world. As a matter of fact, last time she was in Greece, she actually took a selfie and then sent it to us. And she's enjoying her retirement. And that's what's profound, right? There are too many federal government employees that have a similar background, similar, how they came up with it from their family, similar family lifestyle or similar situation whereby they feel like they cannot retire, but they've done all the things that they need to do, but all what they need is that validation that they can retire, right? So make sure that you don't stay too long into retirement with the fear that you cannot retire, because you gotta come to us so that we can validate that for you, and that way you can enjoy that retirement. Because you know what? Life is too short. We want to enjoy when you can. And the other thing is like the TSP balance, right? See, so many people think of retirement as their TSP balance. You have $1 million or you have $1.5 million in your TSP. They look at that to say, I'm ready to retire. But what does that mean? A balance doesn't indicate whether you are ready to retire or not. It's planning. Because you see that TSP money that you have, is it all in traditional? If it's all in traditional, well, if you have $1.5 million, that whole $1.5 million doesn't belong to you. There's another silent partner in that. Maybe there's taxes that you have to pay on that $1.5 million. But guess what, though? When you take that money out from the TSP, how is that money taxed? All those are critical things that are important. And if you don't get those right, that $1.5 million in your TSP could be gone, too soon, right? And we don't want that to happen. So do not make the mistake of looking at your TSP balance and thinking that equates to whether you can retire, because the balance. It's in the stock market, or you have it in the C fund. Well, you know what? Guess what? If the stock market goes down, guess what? That balance is going to be affected. If you have it sitting in the G fund, well, you got to also understand that while it's not affected by the market, but the purchasing power of that money in the G fund is actually dwindling every single day. So basically, make sure that when you have the balance in the TSP, $1.5 million, great job on that. But now the next step is for you to basically sit down and put a plan, a withdrawal strategy from that. That way you can keep that TSP money, or that TSP money can last for the rest of your retirement. Now, the other thing is spreadsheet versus plan, right? Most people come to me in our retirement plan, when they sit with us, they come with their spreadsheet. They have all these spreadsheets with different things out there. My friends, spreadsheets are spreadsheets out there. There's so many dynamics when it comes to retirement planning. And I'm not sure whether your spreadsheet alone could definitely justify that you can retire. What you do need to sit down with a professional and then be able to build a plan in place. Do you have an income plan? Do you have a investment plan? Do you have tax plan? Do you have healthcare plan? Do you have a legacy plan, estate plan? All those are things that are important for a profound retirement. So please do not substitute planning for your spreadsheet out there, right? Outstanding, very good. Now, the other thing that we're going to be talking about is retirement readiness, right? What does that mean? Because it's extremely important for us to understand when you are ready for retirement. Retirement readiness, you basically have to look at your income. Because you see, when you retire, you don't retire on your asset. You retire on income. You want to make sure that you have a written income plan that's going to show how much money you're going to need in retirement, where is it going to come from, is it taxable or not? All these are things that are very, very important. Oh, by the way, do you want an income that's going to be protected from the stock market, knowing that you're going to get that every single month, no matter what happens in the stock market? Or are you going to get income that's going to be vulnerable? That's going to be variable out there, right? Okay. Now, so far too many federal government employees. Think about it for a second. Let's put this in context. While you're working as a federal employee, you rely on what? Your paycheck. You know how much it is going to be every 2 weeks. You know exactly when it's going to come, right? You have that income coming in for what? Because you have that stability, right? You have that safety, knowing that that pension, that paycheck is going to come in every single month. It blows my mind. People go into retirement, they tend to opt in for something else, whereby their income is going to be variable based on the stock market out there. So we do not want that to happen. Making sure that you have a sustained, reliable income coming in every single month that gives you peace of mind. As well, you know what? That's probably going to give you a lot of joy, because now you know that if the stock market is down, you're not relying on your portfolio out there, because you built an income plan whereby that income is going to come in no matter what the stock market does, right? Okay. The other thing that we want to talk about is your health care, right? What does that mean? Healthcare, we know that is probably the most expensive thing that's gonna happen to you in retirement. If God forbid you get sick and all that, and it's very, very, very expensive. You do have a very, very good health insurance plan, which is your FEHB, which is excellent. Now, when you get into retirement, you're also gonna have to think about: are you gonna combine your FEHB with Medicare Part B, right? If that's a decision that you have to do, or you're thinking about doing, then that's what the planning comes into play, because Medicare Part B is going to be another premium coming into you that you have to pay when you opt into Medicare. Now, the other thing that you have to think about is long-term care. Do you have a plan for long-term care? God forbid something happens to you. If you cannot functionally do the things that you do, especially when you get up in the morning, if somebody has to feed you, somebody has to basically give you a bath, and you on and on and on. If that happens to you, do you have a plan for it? So that's something that you need to think about so that you can be prepared and get ready for your retirement. The other thing will also be your lifestyle. And a lifestyle could mean so many, many things. But the things that you're gonna do in retirement. Are you gonna be travel around the world? Are you gonna be playing golf or whatever it is, whatever your hobby is, right? What's the dollar amount that you need to be able to do that? Because remember, when you retire, we always say, every day is a Saturday, right? You're always doing something, and it's probably gonna cost money. So you wanna make sure that can your lifestyle sustain that. And that's key for most people when it comes to retirement. So retirement is not an event, right? It's not an event. It's not a one thing. It can be 20, 30 years or even more for most people, right? Because people are living longer, and you want to make sure that you have enough money that's going to sustain all of that. Because you know what, though? You deserve this. You deserve a profound retirement. You work so hard for this. It's the golden days in your life, right? So you want to make sure that you plan for it and then be able to enjoy it. Hi, thanks for watching. You see, retirement is not an event, it's a journey that needs to be planned. And people that are enjoying profound retirement, they've done significant amount of planning. So if you're interested in having a profound retirement, call us. We'll be able to show you a way and then guide you so that you can put a plan in place and then enjoy your profound retirement.